Welcome to Real IQ. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install n8n with custom domain, and I'm also going to share some tips on how to get the cheapest domain. So let's get started. So first thing we will need, it's a domain. Getting a domain, it's easier, but getting a free domain, it's very hard. So if you just go to Google and search for free domain, so usually you will see some sponsor links, and after that you can find out few of the name here, Freenom and all those things. But really all of this thing does not work, because if you go to Freenom, they get sued, and right now they are not providing any free services. Previously they were providing free domain for 1 year. So as of now they are not providing any free domains. So what you can do, the cheapest domain you can find, it's going to be 1.11b class domain. Okay, if you don't care about domains which are starting or ending with xyz, okay, these are the domain you can get it for very cheap. It's like $1 per year, so it's very cheap compared to any other domain. And these are actual domain, not the subdomain. The problem with subdomain, you cannot transfer the name servers. Otherwise you can get a subdomain from DuckDuckGo or FreeDNS, or there are multiple services who provide subdomains. But if you are looking for more credible sources, again I'll be sharing all the links in my blog as well. Okay, so these are the few name, gen.xyz. Again, you can find out the domain here and buy it from the Namecheap, GoDaddy or somewhere else. Second one, it's Namecheap Education. I've heard good things about it. You just need a student account for that. So if you don't have a student account, most likely it's not useful. In general, if you are looking for a domain which is cheap, you can find it out in Namecheap. GoDaddy, it's also cheap, but for like first 2 years, and after 2 years, they're gonna charge you more. So if you want to get the cheap domain, you can find out it in the Namecheap. And if you want to keep the domain for like lifetime, I would say try searching on Cloudflare domain, because they have the cheapest domain in context of renewal. So if you are getting domain for $10, it's going to stay $10 for your life. When it comes to Namecheap or GoDaddy, it's going to change over time. So it's your choice. But for our purpose, let's start with gen.xyz. I'll set up the domain, and then we will set up the Cloudflare account for that. So if you go to 11b class domain, if you go here, okay, you can find out the list here, okay, whichever works for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting this one. If it's available, let's look at the availability. Okay, so it's available, and you can see that you can get it for $1 a year, and it's $1, and I'm staying in Canada, so it will be like something else obviously, so 1.18 or something like that. So you can get a domain from any of this vendor. I would prefer to go with Namecheap, because everything I set up, it's on Namecheap. Compared to GoDaddy, it's cheaper domain. Okay, so you can see it's $1 Canadian and 15 cents, and it's going to stay the same for the lifetime. So I'm just going to go check out. So we don't need anything, and if you want to renew it, you can just select auto renewal. It's be $1.16. Okay, you don't need any other services, so just confirm the order. And now I'm just going to create a new user. Okay, so once you log in, you fill out all this information, and once you fill out this information, just purchase the domain. So I'll do that now. Okay, so once you set up your domain, if you go to your username and dashboard, you should be able to see your domain here. Okay, so let's create a Cloudflare account. Next thing, so I'm using Cloudflare, just so you know. You can do the same thing with Ngrok, but Ngrok has a paid plan to set up the domain, so you cannot set up the custom domain. In order to set up custom domain and a free version of it, Cloudflare, it's the best and a secure way to do that. So let's do Cloudflare login first. Cloudflare login. Okay. So I'm just doing continue with Google. So once you are here, you need to do domain registration. And inside the manage domain, you can transfer your domain. Here you can provide your domain, which is going to be 2100.xyz. So once you are here, you are selecting the free plan, $0. And you just do continue to activation. So next thing you need to do, you need to add this name servers to the actual account, because that's how you can transfer your domain from Namecheap to Cloudflare. So you go here to manage. If you scroll it, you should be able to find Namecheap basic DNS. Click here and custom DNS. So here you need to provide name servers. So just go here, copy and paste it here. Same for the second one. And just click OK. Okay. So it says it can take up to 48 hours, but usually it's done within like few minutes to few hours. So I'll get back to you once this is done.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I'm back. And if you just open up your dashboard again, you should be able to see that it's protected by Cloudflare now. Okay, that's great. So the next step would be installing a Cloudflare package in your Linux-based system. There are two ways you can do that. One is going to be, again, I mentioned everything in my blog. So first one is just by command line. It's very easy to use. You're just going to set up your GPG key and app repository. Once you do that, you can install Cloudflare, very easy. And if this doesn't work, you can download the official package from Cloudflare, and then you can install it with apt install. Okay, so for now, I already have copied the code, so I'll just paste it here and enter. So this should install all the things which is required for the Cloudflare package, and it will install the Cloudflare package itself. Okay, so once your Cloudflare package is installed, you just need to do Cloudflare Tunnel login. Okay, since we are creating a new tunnel, again you can do a tunnel from your dashboard here, but it's easier to do it from the command line. So Cloudflare Tunnel login. Enter. This should open up your browser. If it doesn't, you can just click here. It will open up the browser. Okay. So once you are here, you just click on your domain. Just make sure you have the right domain. Click here and authorize it. Okay. Once you authorize it, you should be able to see a success here. And again, if you go to your terminal, it says your credential has been logged in and it's worked completely. Okay, so it saved your credentials here in this directory. Okay. So next step, you need to create a tunnel. Again, I am just copy pasting it. You can find out all the code mentioned in the documentation or my blog. So Cloudflare tunnel, and we are creating a tunnel name n8n tunnel. So once you do that, you should be able to see a tunnel ID. Okay. So we just copy this. So next thing we have to do. So we need to route our traffic from our tunnel and to our domain. Okay. So either you can mention your tunnel UUID which we just copied, or you can mention just n8n tunnel because that's the only tunnel we have. So if I mention n8n dash tunnel, that should work. Or I can just copy paste the same the actual ID which we have just copied. And in order to do that with my domain, okay, so space n8n dot our actual domain 2100.xyz. Okay. So why I'm setting up the subdomain, you can do the domain as well, but subdomain makes it easier if you want to host more than one application. So n8n.2100.xyz. So from here on, the next step, it gets little bit complicated. So what we need to do, we need to store our config YAML file of Cloudflare. You can just do mkdir, okay, again sudo mkdir. Okay, now we have the Cloudflare package there, so let's go there. Now we are in Cloudflare. I'll just do clear. Okay, and now here we are creating config.yaml file, so I'll just do sudo nano config.yaml. Okay. And why we are creating YAML file in this specific directory, because if you do it in standard directory, every time your computer knows, whenever you restart the machine, it knows that what are the configuration for our tunnel. Okay. So now here we need to change two things. First is our tunnel ID, and second one is credential file. Okay. And third is going to be our domain. So let's go to our ID, take the credential, paste it here, and same thing we have to do it here as well. Just one thing to mention, okay, don't remove .json because this is the exact file which is created within your directory, specifically local.cloudflare directory. So just paste it here. Next thing, we have to provide our subdomain. So it is n8n 2100.xyz. Okay. Again, if you are hosting your n8n into in it with the different port, just change a port here. Otherwise, everything is fine here for now. So that's it. You just do exit. Yes, I want to save the file. Okay. So once this is done, you need to set up your Docker or n8n in Docker. So I'm going to use Docker desktop for that. Okay. So Docker desktop, you can go with Docker CLI or Docker Compose as well, but Docker desktop makes it a little bit easier. Okay. So now we are in Docker desktop. What we need to do, go to images, search for image, n8n. You are looking for n8n.io/n8n. Just do run. Okay, so once the n8n is installed, you are just going to do here run. Okay. Set up the optional setting, n8n.io. Okay. You can give any name. For the port, just make sure you are providing the right port. Okay, I am just providing default port. If you are changing the port, just make sure that it's the same port in the config file as well. Okay. For the volumes, I'm just going to go here and I will select something in documents. You can set up anywhere, that's fine. So just say n8n data. Okay. And for the container path, it's going to be static. So it's going to be home/node/.n8n. Okay. You can also add few more volumes if you need it, but for me, I'm just going with the basic config. Now we need to set few environment variable. Okay. So first thing we will need is n8n editor base URL. Second thing is going to be webhook URL, and in both cases you are going to write down HTTPS, and you will provide your subdomain. So 2100.xyz. Okay, I'll just copy paste it here. And the last one, I'm setting the default binary data mode. Okay, because if I want to download something, it's going to be with the binary data mode. So I'll just set to file system. Okay, now everything is done. I just need to do run here. Okay, so once the installation is complete, you should be able to see something like this. Your editor is available at your domain, but for if you go here, most likely it will not open up. Okay, I'll just close everything. So it's going to show you the error because we have created tunnel, but we have not started the tunnel yet. So we'll again open up our terminal. Okay, so I've made a mistake here. I'll update it in the file as well. So again, when we are copy pasting the actual Cloudflare configuration file, we need to mention the exact directory. Okay, so if you go here in Cloudflare, you should be able to see the JSON file where it has stored the credential. That's the location we are supposed to put there. So if you go to configuration file, so here instead of saying local, okay, just make sure you are providing your username. In my case, my username is Keval here. Okay, you save the file, yes, and then you are just going to do the system install. Okay, again, so I'll just go to Cloudflare service install. Okay, it's already running, that's why it's coming up like this. You can again run the enable command and you can check the status as well. So my Cloudflare tunnel is up and running. So now let's go to our Firefox. Again, this is my domain, so just refresh it. Okay, so as you can see, our Cloudflare tunnel, it's up and running, and we have hosted our n8n in our custom domain. So that's it for this video, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.